wanted to start out, obviously, Josh Norman was signed either yesterday or a day before. Pretty interesting because it's so close to the season starting. What was your takeaway from it overall, Jack? Did you feel what did you learn, or what could we learn from signing Josh Norman so close to season or the season starting?
I think what we can learn is that the 49ers are committed to having a more deep roster than they had last year and not getting themselves into binds. And we're seeing this Josh Norman signing, although it isn't an expensive deal, it's relatively inexpensive. It's very similar to the reason why Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup quarterback, or the starting quarterback, potentially backup quarterback, right? He's the starting quarterback right now, and Trey Lance is the backup, and they're committed to sticking out the season with Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers have been bit so much by injuries last year. Obviously Garoppolo was hurt, but on top of that, the cornerbacks got hurt in one game, and they had to go with Brian Allen, which was just terrible.
Terrible.
Right. And so that's really what this is about. It's about having better depth throughout the roster. I don't expect to see him start, but if he has to go into a game, you feel a lot better than you did a season ago. And on top of this, I don't know if you noticed or if you saw, but the Flyers, Dante Johnson's on the practice squad too. They signed Dante Johnson to the practice squad today. They cut him with the signing of Norman. So they've got guys on the practice squad that are much better than what they had last year as far as veterans.
Now, do you feel like this is a, I guess, condemnation or kind of like something to be said about Ambry and Lenoir? Because it seemed like they had decent showings in the preseason. And, they were the depth behind Mosley and Verrett, obviously. Do you feel like the 49ers are, by making this signing, are saying, hey, we're not so sure about these guys as jumping in and being the backups in case any of these guys go down?
I don't really see it quite that way. I mean, I think Lenoir is still the number 3 in terms of the outside corners. I think he's the first guy off the bench. And then Norman might be the 4th, maybe the 5th, in that range. I don't, it would, if they would, what do they have on the outside? They have Norman and Thomas and Lenoir, right? Those are the 3 backups that they have. So
right.
I think you're going to see Lenoir be the first guy off the bench with Norman probably being second, and then Thomas probably being the last one because he has struggled the most.
That makes sense. It just is a little bit different from what you expected, right? Because everybody that they've been bringing in have been just straight man-to-man cover corners. And Norman kind of fits more of the zone scheme that they used to run. So does that give you any tells as far as, maybe something that D'Amico Ryans is looking for? Or is that kind of like Norman maybe could play both?
I think he can play a little bit of both. He's not as going to be as strong in man coverage as the other guys would be. And obviously the Flyers would be a little bit more limited if he's in the game. But he'll be okay. It'll be okay. I think it might point to, they had said they were still interested in Richard Sherman. So maybe it points a little bit to the fact that maybe they were really, interested in trying to bring him back on a low price deal if he would have been willing to take it before everything kind of fell apart with him.
Right.
Or for him. Mm-hmm.
Well, Josh Norman has been a really good corner in the league. Obviously he's at the tail end of his career, had some up and down seasons the last few seasons, but if he's coming in spot duty and just going to be kind of more of a backup and fit into that role, I feel like it's a low risk, a high reward type of option that the 49ers have. And like I said, I really still believe in the rookie corners that they have. So I think Josh Norman might just be like an insurance policy just in case, things kind of totally fall apart type of situation.
Sure.